Hello, Hilltop. Thank you for clicking to the next tile for our underhand rolling and tossing lesson today. I hope you're nice and warmed up, ready to learn. I know I am. As you can notice, I'm back here at the gym in Hilltop, but you're probably watching this video at home. So some of my equipment might be a little bit different than yours. So I've got my yarn ball just like before, but now I've set up some targets. And my targets are bowling pins. Now you might not have bowling pins at home, and that's okay. There's plenty of things that you can use at home as targets, like water bottles, maybe some Legos, or if you have some action figures, anything that you can balance standing upright that would maybe fall over if you hit it with a yarn ball, a regular ball, or a roll of socks. So if you need to pause the video to find some targets to roll at, you can do that now. I have 5 targets. You don't have to have the same number as me. If you want to have less targets, you can. If you want to have more targets, you can. Now I'm going to be demonstrating and playing this activity on my own, but if you have a family member at home that could play this game with you, it'd probably be even more fun. But before we start rolling at targets, we need to know the right way to roll a ball. You know the word that rhymes with rolling? Call out a word that rhymes with rolling. Did anyone say bowling? If you did, you do rolling when you go bowling. Raise your hand if you've gone bowling before. All right. So I'm going to tell you a few tips on how to be a good roller. All right? So I want you to try to follow along with me. I'm going to stand back this way so you can see my whole body. I'm not going to roll at the targets just yet, because when we start our game, I'll roll at those. But for right now, I need to learn how do I roll this ball the best way to help my chances of being successful by knocking over a target. The first thing you need to know is which hand do I want to try to roll with. Now typically the hand you do your writing, your coloring, and your throwing and your cutting with would be the hand that you would want to try to underhand roll with. But you're welcome to try with either arm. I'm going to use my right hand today. Now when I'm rolling, the first thing I want to do is bend my knees, both of my knees just a little bit. Okay, and I'm slightly leaning forward. Now I need to bring this ball back behind my body. The further back I bring it, the more power or force I'll have when I swing it forward. So if I start from here, I won't be able to get it going very fast. But if I bring it back down behind my body, behind my hips, and then swing it forward, I'll get it to go faster. And that's what we want. So now I know I'm going to hold it in this hand, and I know I need to swing it straight back. Now you have to step forward. Oh, Mr. Amici, which foot should I step forward with? Remember our weighted exercises where you had the weight in one hand and you would step either forward or backward with the other one? It's called stepping with the opposite. So that's what we're going to do. If I'm swinging or underhand rolling with this arm, I'm going to step forward with the opposite leg. And the reason we do that is it helps keep our body nice and balanced. See how I swing this leg forward and this opposite arm forward? If I swung both sides, forward at the same time, it's a little bit harder for me to keep my balance. So I want to swing it back, step forward with the opposite leg, turn this way, and those knees, we want to bend those knees just like we do when we lunge. Because if you notice, when I bend my knees, see how it brings my hand and the ball closer to the floor? That's what you want when we're rolling. You want to step and bend because you want to release this ball as close to the floor as possible because you want the ball to roll. If I let go of the ball up here, what did it do? Boing, boing, boing. It bounced a little bit. Bouncing is fun, but bouncing isn't what we're working on today. We're working on underhand rolling. So I want to release this ball as close to the floor as possible. So that way, as soon as I let go, see how it stays on the ground the whole time? I know that's a lot of stuff to remember. I'm back. So when we get started, bend both knees a little bit. Decide which hand is going to push that ball forward. We swing it down and back behind our body. Step forward with that opposite foot. Scoot back so you can see me even better. So down and back, step. And I bend those knees so I get nice and low. And I can let go of the ball close to the floor. And here's a special secret for you. Watch this. Watch my hand as I push it through. Your ball will go wherever you point your hand. I brought a couple of yarn balls with me for this one. I got a purple one now. So if I bring it back and push forward and bring my arm across, the ball goes wherever I point it to go. So when you swing that arm forward, try to swing it straight forward. And has anyone ever heard of Spider-Man? You have? I like to picture it like I'm shooting the webbing out of my hand like Spider-Man. So I step, bend, and then I push forward, and I want the inside of my hand pointing straight towards what the target is. And what's our target today? I've got those bowling pins set up. Now I also have that little orange cone right there. That's my boundary line. So that's where I'm going to roll from. I can make this activity more challenging for myself by moving my start line further back. So I could move the cone further away, and that would make it more challenging for me to hit my targets. I could also spread the targets further apart. That would make it harder, more challenging. You'd have to get really good at your aim. And now if you're someone that's maybe having a tough time with rolling, move your targets closer together and move your start line closer to the targets. Okay, so those are some ways to make it more challenging and some ways to make it easier. Now I'm going to pick up my 3 yarn balls that I brought with me. If you want to have more than one ball too, you can, but this will just help me demonstrate this game to you faster so you've got more time to play during PE. And again, this is a game you can play on your own, or you can play with a brother, sister, cousin, or adult that's at home with you. So I'm going to start by my cone. You should still be able to hear me. And I'm going to hold it in the correct hand that I want to roll with. Remember, I want to swing it down and back. Step with my opposite foot, so the leg that's on the other side of my body. And I want to bend those knees nice and low and let go of that ball close to the floor and Spider-Man wrist. Point right at the target. Let's see how I do. Okay, knees bent. Swing down and back. Step forward, Spider-Man wrist. I got one! All right. I've got 2 more. I'm going to roll 2 more times. I've got it in the correct arm. Step with the opposite. Swing it back. Bend. Spider-Man wrist. Oh, I didn't get one that time. Let me stand over here so you can see me. I got 1 more. So step with the opposite. Swing it down and back. Bend those knees so you can release the ball close to the floor. Push forward. Whoa, I got 2 of them in 1 throw. Now, I can use my big, strong brain and remember how many targets I knocked down, or you could have little points that you can pick up. So it's probably hard for you to see, but I have a little stack of cards down there. And for each pin I knock over, I'm going to pick up 1 card, and each card is a point for me. Now, you don't have to use cards. You could use a slip of paper, you could use jelly beans, you could use little Legos, anything that you've got a bunch of little pieces of that you could just pick up however many targets you knock down. So it looks like I knocked down 3. I've got my stack of cards. 1, 2, 3. I've got my 3 points. Good for me. But I need to fix my targets so that way I've got something to roll at the next time. Stand my targets back up. I also need to pick up my yarn balls, and now I can create my own pile of my points that I've collected. So I have 3 points right now. Put those down, and I'm going to try again. Step, swing back, push forward. Oh, I got 2 in one throw. Swing back, step forward, bend. Oh, I got 1. One more ball. Let's see how I do. Step, swing it back, bend low to the floor. Let that ball go close. Ooh, didn't get one that time. I'm going to race back. Oh, I'm going to pick up my yarn balls. How many did I knock down? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take 1, 2, 3 cards. I'm going to stand my targets back up. And that way, I can try again. I'm going to run back, put my 3 cards on my pile. And you can play for as many rounds as you'd like to. So as many turns as you'd like to take. Maybe you and the adult at home can decide, or you decide on your own. And then when you're done taking your turns, you can count up your points. So I did 2 rounds, so I took 2 turns. Let's count my points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 6 points total. Now I can try this activity again and see if I can beat my score, or I can move my start line further back. I can spread the targets out. Another fun way to play this game is you can try to keep track how many rounds or turns it takes you to knock them all over. So why don't I try that really quick? So this time I won't collect any cards. I'm just going to keep rolling until I get all 5 knocked down, and then my turn is done. Here I go. Step, bend, push forward. Oh, I got 1. Oh, I didn't get that one. Oh, I got that one. So I got 3 left. I'm going to quickly pick up my yarn balls, get back to my start spot. Step, bend, push forward. Got 1. Step, bend, push forward. Ooh, didn't get it. Step, bend, push forward. I didn't get it. I still got 2 left. I got to pick them up. I got to run back to my start line. Step, bend, push forward. There's 1. Step, bend, push forward. Oh, I hit the other pin. Step, bend, push forward. I did it. I got to get my 3. Pick them up. Run back. Done. So that took me 3 rounds to get them all knocked over. Now you could play this game with a partner, where it took me 3 rounds, then I would give the yarn balls to whoever I'm playing the game with. And then they could see how long it takes them to knock all the pins down. Or do the same game where you collect a point each time you knock one down. Now that's our introduction to rolling. Make sure you click completed on this tile after you've played your rolling target game a few times. And we'll see you on the next tile, where we will practice underhand tossing and a couple little games you can play with that. And you'll see the similarities, or the things that are the same, about underhand rolling and underhand tossing. So we'll see you in the next video. Go Hawks! Bye, everybody.